Hello and welcome to our video. Today we're going to look at 50 celebrities who were homeless before they became famous. Watch until the end to learn about the 50 celebrities who were homeless before they became famous. Number 1. Jim Carrey. When Jim Carrey was a teenager, his family was living out of a van that they would park in various places throughout Canada. Due to the financial struggles the family experienced, he had to drop out of high school and began working as a janitor to support his family. He then lived in a tent on his older sister's front lawn. Number 2. Jennifer Lopez. Because she had nowhere else to go, Jennifer Lopez would sleep in her dance studio until her big break. Today, she's a successful actress, singer, dancer, and fashion designer with a net worth of $400 million. Number 3. Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson may be worth millions of dollars today, but before becoming the first winner of American Idol, she went through some hard times. Shortly after moving to Los Angeles, she was among the many struggling artists. The apartment she moved into in LA caught an accidental fire, and she had to live out of her car. Number 4. Halle Berry. Before pursuing an acting career, Halle Berry tried out modeling. Living in New York, she ran out of money fast, and her mother did not support her, telling her to find a way to sort it out. So she lived in shelters until she landed her first well-paying gig in acting. She's appeared in numerous television shows and films and has a net worth of $90 million. Number 5. Sylvester Stallone. Stallone found himself sleeping at a bus station for 3 weeks straight in New York City and had to sell his dog to get by for $50. He now has a net worth of $400 million. Number 6. Dr. Phil McGraw. Phil McGraw, as most people know him, lived with his father in a car as they tried to make ends meet. His father was able to establish a psychology practice, and McGraw also got his PhD in psychology. The American psychologist is a household name after numerous appearances on The Oprah Winfrey Show, and went on to have his program. Number 7. Steve Harvey. The American comedian, TV personality, and author was once at his lowest, with nowhere to stay. When he traveled for comedy shows, he had to wash up in gas stations or swimming pool showers, as he lived in his car. But he persevered until his entertainment career launched after appearing on Showtime at the Apollo. Number 8. Chris Gardner. The film Pursuit of Happiness was inspired by Chris Gardner's story of a homeless father to a millionaire businessman. However, through determination and sheer will, he became a millionaire stockbroker. Today, he travels the world as a motivational speaker and sponsors several homeless charities. Number 9. Hilary Swank. The Oscar-winning actress once called a car home. Together with her mother, they moved to Los Angeles when she was a teenager to pursue acting. Today, she has a successful career and has won 2 Oscars. Number 10. Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is a billionaire now, but before making it big, he was once homeless. To stage his play, I Know I've Been Changed, that was to make him famous, he became homeless and started living in his car after using all his savings. All this changed when the play became a hit in 1998, leading him to stardom. Number 11. Steve Jobs. Jobs is the mastermind behind the iPhone. The legendary CEO built a tech empire that made him a millionaire. But during his college years, he was down and out. He would sleep on the floor in a friend's room, and for a decent meal once a week, he would walk 7 miles to Hare Krishna Temple. Number 12. Shania Twain. The pop star with 5 Grammys to her name has always been reserved about her private life. But in her memoir, From This Moment On, she shares some insights about her upbringing and how living with her mother and siblings in a homeless shelter in Toronto came to be after they left an abusive household. Number 13. Daniel Craig. Craig may be among the highest paid actors, but this was not always the case. Before he became James Bond, he would sleep on park benches in London as he tried to make it as an actor. He's now famous and successful and has appeared in various films and programs. Number 14. Michael Oher. The NFL player was living in the streets during his teenage years. His mother was an addict and couldn't take care of him until a wealthy family took him in to live with them. His story of homelessness to success is an inspiration to many and became the movie known as Blindside. Number 15. Sam Worthington. The Australian actor was homeless and living out of his car before his audition in Avatar. However, when he was cast in Avatar, his life changed drastically for the best. He now stars in other big-name films and has a net worth of $30 million. Number 16. Charlie Chaplin. Before he was 10 years of age, Chaplin was forced out to the streets with his young brother after his mother was put in a mental hospital, but he worked hard and became an iconic actor in the silent film era, breaking into the entertainment industry and becoming successful and wealthy at the same time. Number 17. Chris Pratt. A-list actor Chris Pratt, as a teenager, was homeless, living in his van in Maui, Hawaii. While working as a waiter at the age of 19, he was discovered and is enjoying a successful acting career. Number 18. Drew Carey. The game show host and American actor-comedian found himself homeless at 8 years old after his father died. At some point, he had to sell his blood for cash, but he got his big break in 1991 on The Johnny Carson Show. Number 19. David Letterman. In 1975, David Letterman and his wife lived out of his truck for months. He got his big break as a comedy writer and became the longest-serving late-night talk show host in the history of American television. Number 20. Jim Cramer. When Jim Cramer was younger, someone broke into his apartment and stole all he had. He was left with nothing and nowhere to go. Cramer started living out of his car until he got a new place after saving up enough money. Through determination, he launched his career. Number 21. Kelsey Grammer. Before he was a successful actor, Kelsey Grammer was homeless and spent time on the streets. He would camp out in alleys with his motorcycle. Number 22. DJIMON HOUNSOU. The Beninese model and actor was once homeless when he was a young teenage boy. He slept on the streets and subways and camped near the Eiffel Tower. After meeting a representative of a fashion photographer in the streets, he encouraged him to pursue modeling, and today is a well-established model. Number 23. Lil Kim. Lil Kim was homeless twice. After dropping out of high school, her father expelled her from her home, and she started living on the streets. Earlier before, she had lived in the car with her mother. Today, the rapper has a successful career and donates to her favorite charities. Number 24. Idris Elba. In pursuit of an acting career, Idris Elba moved to America, but found nothing and would sleep in his van for weeks. But he never gave up and was able to reach the levels of fame and fortune that he has now in his career. Number 25. Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran performed in various gigs to get noticed and was homeless as he slept on the streets and on friends' sofas. All this was before his music career took off after the release of A-Team in 2011, his debut single. Number 26. Heather Mills. When Heather Mills was younger, she slept in the London streets after running away from home to join a traveling circus. But she has pushed through incredible boundaries in her life and is a successful entrepreneur, Paralympic ski racer, charity campaigner, and world record holder today. Number 27. Tiffany Haddish. In the past, Tiffany Haddish had struggled with homelessness. On various occasions, she was couch surfing in friends' homes, but she persevered in her pursuit of humor despite the obstacles. She's now among the top Hollywood funniest ladies and a successful actress. Number 28. James Cameron. Cameron was living in his car as he was writing The Terminator. He pitched The Terminator to production companies, but they would not allow him to direct it. But he was able to sell the rights and direct The Terminator, and the film made $78 million worldwide. Number 29. Jewel. Jewel became homeless for a year after her boss fired her, but she kept writing songs and singing in local coffee shops. According to her website, the multi-platinum singer ended up securing a label and selling over 12 million copies of her album. Number 30. Rose McGowan. When Rose McGowan was young, for a year, she was homeless. Sometimes she had to sleep in Portland nightclubs, but she later found her breakthrough in the film industry. Number 31. Ella Fitzgerald. Before she became the queen of jazz, singer Ella Fitzgerald was a homeless teenage runaway. Her voice won her fame and would grow in the industry to win 13 Grammy Awards. In 1981, she sang for President Ronald Reagan and received a medal from him and President George H.W. Bush. Number 32. Cary Grant. Cary Grant's father left him when he was a young boy. His mother was institutionalized, and this left Grant homeless and living on the streets. But he went on to be a famous superstar, known for his dramatic and comedic roles. Number 33. Harry Houdini. Houdini ran away from home at a young age. He had to panhandle on the streets of New York City because he was poor. When he was 17 years old, he began his professional career as a magician and became famous and great at it. Number 34. Natasha Lyonne. Natasha has starred in hit shows such as Orange is the New Black and Russian Doll. In the show Russian Doll, She co-created, co-produced, co-directed, and starred in it, and was nominated for various Emmy Awards. However, before all of this success, she struggled with addiction and homelessness. Number 35. A$AP Rocky. A$AP was from a poor background. As a teenager, he moved from one shelter to another with his mother and sister. He had to sell drugs to support himself, but he's now an international rapper with a net worth of $10 million. Number 36. J.K. Rowling. Joanne Rowling ended up homeless after getting depressed due to her mother's passing and going through a divorce. But after writing her first book of the Harry Potter series, life became better. Today, the novelist, producer, and screenwriter is worth millions of dollars. Number 37. Tupac Shakur. The rap icon spent his childhood in poverty. Sometimes, Shakur had to live in homeless shelters with his sister and mother. The rapper became successful in selling his album of gangsta rap aesthetic, and people to date appreciate his music. Number 38. Kem. For years, the Detroit native singer was homeless while dealing with drug addiction. Fortunately, he was able to overcome his addiction and release music albums. Today, he has music tours and concerts across the country. Number 39. Carmen Electra. Carmen was left with nowhere to go after her ex-boyfriend stole her money. Before nailing the audition for Singled Out and Baywatch, she spent a couple of years homeless in Los Angeles. Today, she has successfully penetrated the cutthroat entertainment industry. Number 40. Joan Rivers. Rivers was homeless at some point in her life after running away from home, but she recreated herself to be a famous cultural icon, and a business powerhouse, and an influential trailblazer. Number 41. Susie Orman. In the 1970s, when Orman first moved to Berkeley, California, she couldn't even afford to move out of her van. Today, she's a multi-millionaire with numerous New York Times bestsellers and a well-known Emmy-winning financial advisor. Number 42. Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanders and his wife spent time sleeping in their car as he perfected his chicken recipe. He would drive around the US trying to build his brand until he parlayed his KFC brand into a multi-billion-dollar business. Number 43. Kurt Cobain. Cobain was a high school dropout and was homeless for a period. He resorted to crashing on his friends' couches and sleeping under the bridge. But after meeting his band members, they went on to become successful and famous. Number 44. Patti Smith. Punk rocker Patti Smith slept in the streets, subways, and parks in New York before she was a famous artist. She was an influential figure in the punk rock scene. Number 45. Beck Hansen. When he moved to New York, Beck Hansen wanted to become a musician. However, it was a struggle to get by for him. But in the 1990s, the singer and songwriter rose to fame with his lo-fi and experimental style, and is known for creating wide-ranging genres of musical collages. Number 46. Eartha Kitt. Kitt had a rough time and had to sleep on rooftops in New York when she was homeless. However, she went on to achieve fame and become an American singer, comedian, actress, activist, and dancer. Number 47. Jim Morrison. Jim Morrison was a struggling young musician. He was homeless, and any place he found was the best place for him to sleep. But he ended up having a great career and being among the greatest rock stars and poets in music history. Number 48. Axl Rose. Being homeless happened to Axl Rose, as he had to sleep on his friend's floor after moving to California before he made it in the music industry. He's a great vocalist with a net worth of $230 million. Number 49. John Woo. John Woo, from a young age, had to deal with life's rough side. He became homeless as their family would move from shelter to shelter due to various family struggles. He's now a successful and famous director, giving the world epic blockbusters such as Mission Impossible 2. Number 50. John Paul DeJoria. During the better part of his childhood, John Paul spent many nights and days on the streets. He later found the right path and is a famous billionaire. Also, he is the patron of a spirits company, a co-founder of an airline company, and a philanthropist. Thanks for watching.